Hi, everybody. Just a thought here. I wanted to talk about how choices become habits, become the norm. Okay, keep that in mind. Choices become habits, become the norm. So, in Deuteronomy, there's an interesting thing here. Chapter 30, verse 19. I have placed life and death before you, blessing and curse, and you shall choose life, so that you will live, you and your offspring. To love God, to listen to his voice, and to cleave to him. For he is your life and the length of your days, to dwell upon the land that God swore to your forefathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. Okay? So that's interesting. We placed in front of you life and death, blessing and curse. God wants us to make a choice. Puts it all out in front of you. You have free will to do what's right. He's saying, we want you have a free will here. You get to choose which way you want to go. But please choose life. Now, in Pirkei Avot, chapter 4, verse 2, we have another thing here to think about. Ben Izai said, run to perform even a light precept, and flee from transgression. For the performance of one precept draws the performance of another in its train. For the reward of a good deed is another good deed, and the reward of a transgression is another transgression. They made this into a song. I won't sing, don't worry. Mitzvah goreret mitzvah, avera goreret avera. The mitzvah brings another mitzvah as a reward. And, if you miss, then the mistake brings another chance to make another mistake. But what that means in some ways is habit. When you run to do something right, you start seeing and becoming a habit. You see ways that you can do more right, more opportunities to help people. When you're looking for things to do, you get into a habit of doing good things. And the opposite holds true too. But focusing on the good here, you choose to do the right thing, and then it becomes habit. And that's a good thing, because once it becomes a habit, it becomes a norm. Not just for you, but for your kids also. Now, back in Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19, it does say, choose life so you will live, you and your offspring. Children are hugely important in Judaism. Passover Seder revolves around the kids. It's a huge deal, because why are kids so important? If we don't have the kids involved, the next generation is not interested and maybe just falls out of it. Not even on purpose. Just not involved, not part of their routine. So as parents, or even just as just regular people, if you don't have kids or your kids are big or whatever, it's also the kid inside. We forget sometimes as adults, we have a kid that we have to take care of. It's ourselves. And that kid needs to also be spiritually nourished. Not just the kids running around us, but also our kid, the kid that we're still taking care of here. It doesn't matter how old you are, there's still a kid there. So you have to remember, every choice we make matters. Because, small choices, big choices that, seem insignificant are actually very, very important. Even the ones that we let other people choose. Does it really matter if I go do this today or that today? I'll let someone else decide. It all matters. Every choice you make matters. Every time you give tzedakah, it matters. How you treat somebody matters. Because every time you choose to do something good, you're creating a habit of it. And you want good habits, so make good choices, right? You're choosing life. It's not a small thing. Choice here, choice there. What does it add up to? It adds up to doing the right thing and choosing life, as God puts it. Choose life. Not a small thing. And also notice that when we create habits, we're making choices, our kids are noticing. We're noticing. Our subconscious is noticing. And we want to create a norm for them that is good. Because so many people do things, why do they do them? Oh, my parents did and my grandparents did it. It's just the way we've always done it. That's a norm. We don't even think about what our norms include until we kind of run across them and they're like, oh, we always did that. Why do we always do that? Most people don't even know, including myself. We just don't think about our norms. But maybe we should, because every choice we make leads into that norm. Choices create habits, create norms. So what is our norms? What are our norms? It's very easy to complain about life and complain about everything, really. But what does that complaining get us? Instead of saying, oh, why this bad thing happened to us, we can say, well, I'll never know that, why this bad thing happened. What did I learn from it? That's the better question. And then you can move forward. But how you address a problem, kids notice that too. They notice everything. You think you can get away with whatever. You're not. They notice. But the point is, let's apply it to the Judaism in your life. Now, we can complain that being Jewish is hard. And you may be right. Sometimes being Jewish is hard. But do you want that to be something your kids hear? Because why should they buy into something like this if it's too hard? Maybe they shouldn't bother. But instead of saying, okay, it's hard, say, you may want to say it is hard, but it's worth it. Now, the people who go to the gym and work out and spend lots of time doing these things, is it hard? Yeah. But is it worth it to them? Yes. They're healthy, their bodies, get some exercise, all the good things that come with exercise. It's hard, but it might be worth it. So you focus on the good things that come out of it. Now, Judaism can be hard, but we have a tremendous amount of wisdom. And our history is so long, and there were parts to it that we really would have skipped over. But there are parts that we have 3,000 years of wisdom that we can gain from. We should think about that. Also, Shabbat. You could spend the day at the mall. Easy. I like the mall, no problem. And we could watch TV all day. But we need a day off. God's pretty smart. Gave us an official day off. Take it. Now we could say, oh, it's so hard to do Shabbat. I got so much to do. Yes, I know. We all have what to do. There's a lot to do. But this is enforced family time. This is an opportunity to connect with each other, with ourselves, with God. It's an opportunity. So yeah, it could be hard, but you know what? It's worth it. So instead of complaining, look at the good stuff and make it a habit. Make it a choice to make it special. Make it special for you. Make it special for your family. Because then that becomes the norm in your house. That Friday night, you start a 25-hour period of connection. 25 hours of connection. Make it a norm for your kids. Even if it wasn't a norm for you growing up, make it a norm for them. Make the choice to connect with them. Take that 24-hour period and make it special. Make that choice. Make it a habit. Do it often, every week. If you can't do it every week, do it every once a month, twice a month. Do something to make it a habit, and then create a norm that Shabbat is a special day for us to connect with each other. So, just a thought. I hope it's helpful in some way. I've been thinking about this for a while because there's so many choices and so many habits that just happen and become our norms, but really, do we want them to be our norms? So think about it. It's pretty special. God's giving us a choice. Choose life. We can all choose life and do good for ourselves and do good for others. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Be well.